life transition is a theme for today, whether it's perimenopause, a move life changes, the career shift or identity changes, can leave us feeling unprepared, a little bit of in the unmoored area. So, what if creativity itself was the medicine? So, today we're going to dive into the authenticity, the art, and holistic health. So, for myself, I'm Dr. Evelyn, and I'm a holistic integrative doctor. And I help people, men and women, also change with their clarity and confidence, replacing self diagnosis and effective treatment with professional guidance that restore energy, emotional balance, and stronger relationships. Today, I have myself with a guest. So, Nina, have yourself introduced, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nina. I'm a coach. I'm also a retreat facilitator and I'm an artist. And I am very passionate, or I made my mission to help busy moms who are going through life transitions to use art as a tool for self care and embrace change with confidence.
That's beautiful. So, can you tell us about the moment that nudged you to create and to become a coach to help busy moms?
Yes, the moment to start with collab art was actually quite a pivoting point in my life. We had the unlucky incident that our house burned down, and afterwards we had nothing left. And all that was left was our resourcefulness, our creativity. We also had an amazing community helping us out. And I felt like showered by love from the community that stepped up to help us because we were not insured. And it was, not a nice situation to deal with. So I had my creativity, and the art studio did not burn down. So it was for me like a sign from the universe, go and create art. And I also wanted to be a good role model for my son to not, sit in self pity, we don't have anything left. Like we say, we've got something, we use whatever we have, and we're going to create something cool out of it. And we're going to have fun, and we create beautiful energy for our home. So I really stepped into becoming more of an artist only after our house burned down. And for me, art was always a tool for me just to balance myself, to find relaxation, to find expression, but never to, show off or sell or something like that. So with this new situation, I just thought, I love art, but I love art so much more when I can create with others. And
Mm.
I started to do collab art, which I didn't have the term at that point yet, but it was like a big piece of canvas where I said to my son, let's create something, let's create a world, that we would love to be in with, just with colors and just with expressions. And that became such a beautiful process to create together. And it became many layers. And eventually I went over the whole painting and started to do an expression of what was still, a bit stuck after the fire, the emotions. And I even connected with the fire element. And it was such a beautiful creation afterwards that really was part of a healing process for me. And it was so much fun to do it with my son. And then I decided I don't want to do art alone anymore. It is so much more beautiful to share this experience. And especially for moms, when they are also sometimes stressed and have their hands full and so much to do. Art
Right.
is such a beautiful tool to bring yourself back to center, back to your heart, back into the moment and express. And that can really shift. So for me, art is really a big tool that can help to shift and anchor new beliefs, new ways of seeing. So that is how this became more prominent for me in my life to work with art.
That's so beautiful that you say art as a tool is a new belief and great new stage of life. Because I don't think that most people do see that in that realm of moving your body into a different stage. A lot of people can, and a lot of people like from my body, or at least my brain, all about looking for like what symptom, what physiology, what changes, and it's black and white that way. And we all understand it's not black and white, and we always have a tool, and also looking for different tools to find out. And I'm so appreciative you play as a vessel to move a person and guide a person from that current state to a different state as they express themselves with that trust and knowledge that you have. And I love the painting you have in the back right there. It's so beautiful. Is that a lotus?
Yes, yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. And I also hear that
Yeah.
the story where your house got burned down, that was stressful. And I can imagine a lot of women who going through changes like, oh, first of all, having baby, going through the birth pain, and also go through
Yes.
changes of like having a new house, and then at the same time got burned out. That was quite exhausting and stressful for the whole family, I would imagine. Yeah, and I truly
Mm.
appreciate you do this with your son. Uh huh.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And my son actually encouraged me then as well because when he started to go to school, if I may share further, is that okay?
Yeah, completely fine.
Yes. And then it kept going because eventually I figured out that, yeah, just saving money is not really helping our financial situation, you know. So I decided I need to, and I used to do homeschooling at that time as well, which was beautiful, and I loved the journey. It was also a journey of growth together, even though there were some days, I think all mom can relate where it just
Yeah,
feels like too much.
of course.
But we did 3 years homeschooling together, and then eventually I decided I need to, yeah, find a place where I can work in quiet and focus, on
Yeah.
something that I can give. Because I have this calling to give back, especially after the house burned down. I want to give because I received so much. And I know all those tools with art that I also know from retreats that I facilitated with my best friend together, voice movement and art explorations, we called it, has have shown that it has such a beautiful impact
Yeah.
on not just only women but also on men, once they're allowed to fully express.
Yeah.
And with Felix then being in the school, I had this other second strong calling, that I want to shift my own beliefs. I want to step up even further, and I want to become a sponsor for the school where he goes at the moment, because it's a school for underprivileged farm kids. It's a beautiful,
Mm.
heart-centered school. And for our circumstances at that time, it was perfect because we couldn't afford more.
Yeah.
And when I was there on a specific celebration where they just honored the kids who had excellent results in their studies, I was crying my eyes out. I didn't even cry so much when our house burned out, but I was so touched how beautiful they care for the kids and how proud the kids are about their achievements, that I said, I want to do more for the school. And I don't have the funds, to just say, here you go. I'd love you to have it. So I just had the strong calling. I need to step even more into my creativity and into my resourcefulness and use my gifts of creativity and art to manifest something that I can also become a sponsor for the school. And
Ah.
the only thing I could start with was with a big white canvas that I went to the school, and I'm creating an art piece now with the whole school involved. Starting with grade RR, the kindergarten, and then each week the next grade, and eventually in 2 weeks we will be finished. And it's going to be an energetic masterpiece where the kids were really creative. They played, they expressed certain themes that I brought with. And this was such a beautiful journey. And I still don't know where it leads, but I just have the intention out there and I have the passion for it. And I'm following all the signs that are given to me along the way, and I just don't give up. And I see also a beautiful vision for that in future.
That's
So that
so
was my
beautiful.
second big
Yeah.
realization that made me really strong to use art as a tool to also create an impact.
Yeah. I would imagine you have already stepped into the leadership with whatever skill you have. Art, and I hear as if that the inspiration you have given through the screen and also the audience, when they hear them, they can feel as if the passion is also poured into them. As if there's a tool, there's a passion, there's a thing that you can do and you know you do well and you enjoy doing it. And that can bring the
Mm.
impact for the bigger community. Because a lot of time, I would imagine many women who sit across the exam table to me, and we share the vulnerable moments of our household. The kid is very busy picking up kids for the soccer game, multiple kids, like 1 to 3 kids, and then the husband is working. So sometimes they have already a relationship conflict a little bit about delegation. And for the new mom, for the mom who have a teenager, then dealing with the emotional aspect of the kid. So sometimes,
Ah,
as a mom, a woman, we also go through what we go through as we age or the hormonal change, and also the external part and the pressure from a society and the relationship. If the bonding is not as strong, then we feel lost. And for your perspective, when I hear about that inspiration, is there's things that you can do community wise to really bring that out of you. It's bigger than ourselves, and that's the time that we can bond and feel like internally reflecting back and we feel like we find ourselves again.
yes, yes, beautifully said.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure for the future success, it's going to go great. And I'm so amazed that you're involved in school. I remember
Yeah.
back in 27, I believe 2016, I was involved in a school system in Seattle area. And a lot of us who are just new graduates, we join a big program called City Year at the moment. And we go to different school, like an after school program. We join them for 1 year. But then we have like a mural art. And then each group of a
Mhm.
project, we have like 8, 10 people, like new grad students that we graduated from the bachelor degree, and we just go to different big school, elementary school. We do the mural art, and then we have enjoyed. We invited families, peoples in the community come together and paint the entire wall from the upstairs to the bottom
Wow.
stair with different color, and it was fun. We had food, we chat, we connect together in a community. Yeah, those very moment in
That
the first time in
sounds,
my career is connect
yeah,
together with people, art.
yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes,
Yeah.
beautiful.
So, did you use art when you grow up, or you know about this one, or how did you come into art?
I think for me it is just a natural way of being. And I
Yeah.
think it's also my right brain is much more developed than my left brain. For example, math. Yeah, not the best person to do the homework with because my son even says, "Mama, you can't." Of course I can, but numbers just don't make so much sense in my head. They're just numbers. But when it comes to art, when it comes to intuition, when it comes to nature connection, that is where I have this knowing almost, and I can feel energy, and that's why I also use art as a feng shui activation that you can
Mhm.
place to uplift the energy in a room. So I do have
Interesting.
a feng shui consultation course as well done, and I do feng shui consultations, but I mainly do it for myself. But I do want to integrate it also in my course that I teach moms to use art as a tool to embrace change, because it is, in the end, it's all energy. and how we
Yeah.
use the energy. And we need energy also for changes. So for me, art is an expression of energy. And I just love to work with it.
Yeah.
And I also want to share those tools, how mom can really use simple ways of creativity to uplift their own energy or their space. And it's a great tool. I do it almost on a daily basis, or I use today as well to calm myself, for the podcast interview with you. And I created a little something with my son. That's
Yeah.
something that, every mom can easily do at home. If they just need a moment to ground themselves and relax a little to find their inner peace and calm.
That's so beautiful. And I think that well said about bringing up energy. Art is a tool. And I think that out there are so many tools. It's all about that energy level. You were able to bring it out, calm it. So therefore you kind of process through what energy you're going through. And then whatever blank canvas can also have the reflection of what you choose to put on. Right. And sometimes it can be the
Yes.
subconscious mind of telling you what you want to do with paint at the moment too.
Mm.
And
Mm.
when I consult with my clients across the exam table or during telehealth one-on-one, I always tap into that kind of mental support, mental health to see how people are feeling. A lot of people in the moment of the circumstances for, let's say, political or household, they often say mixed depression or anxiety, and very, very much. And also, a lot of people have to use medication and also herbs, and those are all helpful and useful in the moment. And I can hear the
Mm.
tool about like breath work, grounding, the
Mm.
energetic balancing, or call like a chakras different way. And you talk about feng shui. Oh my God, I am a big fan because my
Oh,
culture is an
really?
Asian culture, and we do a lot of feng shui. Like they
Oh,
have water, they have a fish tank at least to make things are vibrant and grow on earth and wood, etc. So those are
yes.
beautiful reflection of what the
Mm.
environment when we come in, it feel inviting, it feel calm, or different environment where we feel stimulated, we feel as if our energy got dispersed around, and we can feel it. I always tell my client, intuition, the more we listen to our body, even though we don't know how to respond to it, but the more we are
Mm.
aware about it is a very first start. And from there, we build more and stronger of intuition. So we know how to like talk to our own intuition that way. Yeah, that's so beautiful that you're using
Yes.
that energetic field with the art. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And can I ask you something? Because
Mm-hmm.
what you helping the women with, and I also I heard that recently, so I would love to get your opinion on that with your background as doctor and also being very yeah, knowledgeable about all the hormones and what's going on with the women. I
Yes.
heard that that women before they have the period, when they're in the premenstrual phase, that their
Mm-hmm.
subconsciousness is coming through stronger than usual. Have you heard of that before as well?
That's an interesting concept. I haven't delved into the subconsciousness before the premenstrual. I can understand that when the hormone change, especially when teenagers in their premenstrual, when before they actually have
Mm-hmm.
period, that's what they call
Mm-hmm.
puberty. It's a change about
Yes,
a
yes.
fluctuation of the everything is like sleeping, and then all of a sudden it's going up, and basically it's about the estrogen progesterone for women. So I always tell
Mm-hmm.
my clients that there was a comedian. She talked about when she in there her menopause, meaning no more period, everything's sleeping. Before her
Mm-hmm.
premenstrual cycle or before the premenstrual initiation for teenager, everything's sleeping. It's like if mom is there 50 plus and have no period, the teenager haven't even start period, they are in an equal plane. And then in
Uh-huh.
the mid
Yeah.
range before the 50 and after 13, and 13 is the average age, right? The hormone is like for teenager is going up for significantly. That's why some of those teenagers they we say the word affect, but I just don't know how to regulate that emotion because hormone emotion are so tied together, and it can also
Mhm.
uplift the energetic feel as well. And when they go through that every month, the ovulation, and for the women before 50, before they hit the menopause, everything is coming down, but then for the puberty, it's coming up. So therefore, if they get to that kind of different stage for mom and daughter, it's going to be a clash. Like they're always
Mhm.
up there when they have a menstruation, when the mom is into the perimenopause and menopause, meaning not regular period, they have an up and down, very interesting capacity. So when people are
Mhm.
going through that emotional state, I always kind of coach them through, explain to them how your body feel and going through, and also for younger girl as well, explain to people how your body feel. If people blame you because of your hormone fluctuation, first they don't know what the women body is going through. As a woman, we
Mm.
do understand what that feels. But for other
Yes.
people who don't know what that feels, then it's not your
Mhm.
fault. And our job is to
Yeah.
educate and make sure people aware our feeling and express ourselves. Especially when I go through my own culture back in the day, before I came to the United States, and my culture was very suppressive in terms of like submissive, suppressed. You don't talk about emotion. You talk about what you do and you achieve. So that is a pattern. Until the time when
Mhm.
I learned about these menstrual cycle, these hormone fluctuations for women. I'm like, oh my god,
Mhm.
this is so huge. My mom went through it, but we didn't know about it. No one talked about it, and we didn't have a tool. Our tool back then to go through the stability, emotional instability is go for a walk, doing Tai Chi if we can. And we didn't have a gym
Mhm.
back then as often. And art,
Mhm.
we had art in classes when we were in elementary school up
Mhm.
to like high school, but
Mhm.
that was it.
Mhm.
The art that we do is like karaoke, people sing. We didn't really have
Mhm.
that kind of avenue to delve deep into doing bigger artwork or doing any bigger exercise movement activity compared to the states
Mhm.
here. That's why it's like a big chapter that any woman in my space back then had to engage in to learn how to express ourselves, how to speak up our voice, and how to find different avenue of community to access the like a Zumba classes for dancing or artwork
Mhm.
for to initiate our activity or creativity.
Mhm.
Yeah. If that's
Mhm.
the answer to your question, it's a long way.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was beautiful to listen. Yeah, very interesting. Yes, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
for those moms, I always hear they always say that time is not on our side. There's so limited
Yes.
time. And I heard earlier that you talk about like find a quiet time and a focus time. How do you find your time, the practical exercise tool to help people find that time to express ourselves in whatever capacity?
Yes, it's a good question because, yeah, like the busy moms, they're busy, but it is so
Exactly.
important to just make a bit of time for ourselves, to really
Mhm.
center that. So what I did for myself is I get up early now because this is like the sanctuary of the day when everything is quiet, when the stars are out, and I just have, half an hour or an hour to myself. And
Yeah.
even though I used to call myself a night owl, but I learned with a
Mhm.
friend where we challenged each other, to just kind of to prioritize time for ourselves in the morning. It's either by getting half an hour earlier up and just do a morning ritual that really grounds. And I help women to find their own morning ritual because what works for me, what works for you might not work for somebody else. So I explore
Exactly.
with them different ways how they can find what they need. For some, it is a meditation. For some, it's a form of
Yeah.
exercise or movement or Tai Chi or Qigong or whatever, or a quick yoga set, or it can be just like going for a walk. But it is
Yeah.
so crucial to make at least, I believe, at least a little bit of time in the morning for yourself before rushing in, getting the kids ready for school and doing all the household chores. So that is a key point for me, to just get up earlier. And then, it's not always possible. And some moms, they're getting up already so early and have so long days, they just can't.
Yeah.
But there's still possibility. For example, today I did like a 10 minutes art session just to ground
Mm.
myself. And it can be super simple, but it can be super impactful at the same time. For example, what I did is I knew I needed something to express. You can't
Oh,
you probably can't read it, but it's like a little reminder,
my voice is
and
white
it's
and
and it helps others bloom. So
so
that was my
beautiful.
little mantra, to
Yeah.
overcome my shyness of speaking in front of others, because it doesn't help. If I want to help a lot of people, I have to overcome that. And I just cut it out of a Wheat Bix package, like a food box container. And it must not be fancy art material. It can be simple stuff that's lying around in the kitchen that you usually throw away. Use the colors of your kids' pen case, and just scribble around. It brings immediate relaxation. It is playful, it is not demanding. And then I also suggest moms who are going through a difficult phase, like,
Yeah.
think about what you need. Do you need love? Do you need confidence? Do you need understanding, or whatever? And then
Mhm.
just take that theme, do a 2 minutes research on the computer to find an inspiring quote, and then just pencil it somewhere with some scribbly bits on a piece of paper, and you can gift it to somebody as a bookmark, or I can use it as a little reminder somewhere in my office. But it helps to find a way to shift and to see that I have what I need already, because it's inside. So I don't need to look
Yes.
outside anymore. And that just little process, realization, little crafting with your hand can have quite an impact already. It does for me. And when I gift it to others, it usually has a beautiful impact as well. That is
It's
just
so
one
beautiful.
way of quickly being
Yeah.
creative.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. I'm so happy that I talked to you because there's so many ways to get back to ourselves. And from that ourselves, we
Mm.
can pour that energy out to the outside world. And I love the way that you do art in a way where you express this on the paper, you have a piece of something to hold on to. And then you look back and you realize, oh, that's a memory that I did this because my intention is on this paper. And if
Mm.
you're angry, it will show. If you're calm, it will show. So therefore, it's a reminder instead of like, okay,
Exactly.
yeah, and go for a walk is a great thing too. We just let ourselves flow and also like forget about what happened previously, or it's just like
Mm.
cleansing through with the air. But then with art, you have
Mm.
that piece of tangible things, and then you can give as a gift,
Yes.
and that is like
Yes.
a bridge between you and also other people. I really love it.
Mm.
It is amazing, and that is a very great encouragement that you give to the audience. Where don't give up. There's many other ways, and at least prioritize ourselves. I always talk about our health, but also like our body as a focus. If we don't
Mm.
take care of ourselves, often masculine, who will take care of ourselves, right? We can burn ourselves out very easily by taking care of other people. But
Mm.
toward the end of the day, if we are not optimal, if we are not there energetically, then everyone will feel it,
Mm.
everyone will know it, and we won't be able
Mm.
to give anymore. Yeah,
That's how
great.
it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, how could people find and work with you in the future, Nina?
Yeah. That is a good question because I'm currently in the process of releasing this online course, which is a very compact program. I just want to give 2 hours of recording with tips how moms can use their time to use art as a self-care tool and some other tips, and then they can watch it in their own time. But I also work on a bigger coaching program that will build up on that. And people can also come and visit me here in South Africa, in the Western Cape. We live on a small holding. It's a beautiful farm where we have a retreat space. I'm sitting in it right now. And we have also guest units in tiny houses. And we hosted here a couple of retreats already. That's actually my preferred form of giving further or facilitating with co-facilitators. I've got a beautiful pool of healers and co-facilitators living here in the area, and we create together retreats to really help women to embrace whatever change they are going through. So we help people to create their own retreats, and the online course is a way that I would like to reach more people, also those who can't easily come to South Africa and visit us here at Surya.
Oh, that's so
Yes.
beautiful. And thank you so much. I will put in a description or the comment area about where people can find you. And to be honest, I'm glad I did my honeymoon across the whole world, 5 different continents and countries. And to be honest, to the
Wow.
audience, it comes to the point where we get out of our comfort zone from different states, from different countries or provinces, and we met people. And I'm so happy to meet you across the globe. It was just make that
Yeah.
network and that feel of that people are out there have a good intention and help each other, and also you can really gain the benefit to help yourself find yourself again and create that creativity and also play in resiliency. All right, well, thank you so much, Nina, for joining us today.
Beautiful. Thank